Okay. So you're spiritually awake but materially unstable. Let's handle it. First thing that I'm getting is a memory about when I was let a few times I had to throw away my tarot and my oracle cards. I did not like it. But I needed to. You know why? Because I was addicted. I couldn't do anything without pulling a card. I couldn't start my day without listening to an oracle card message. And I couldn't give anyone advice without using something, right? Using some sort of tool. And that made me out of balance because I was making all of these things my God. And if I'm making all of those things my God, then I'm most likely, which I was at the time, out of balance with other things, all the other chakras, because all my time, all my energy, all my frequency was only on one level, and there was no harmony between the other or balance between my other chakras. So it's like people who go to church all the time, but they never apply any of the message, right? So they go, they might even take notes to look like they're doing something, right? But then they get home and put their feet up on the couch or watch more messages. Yay! And then just listen to more songs, but they're not doing anything about it. Same thing with like your tarot cards, or this is what I'm getting. Listen to all these messages, but have you taken action on anything that you've heard? Anything that you've listened to? Have you taken any of the steps? Have you done anything with it? Uh-uh. You can answer because this is for you. You need to be true. You need to be honest. This is the only way we're going to move forward. The only way you're going to move forward. Okay? You have to be honest with the truth. Have you? No? Okay, that's the truth. Now what? You're probably consuming more energy than you have the wherewithal to activate. So let's dig a little bit deeper into this. Okay. What part of your mind feels underused? Okay. So maybe this is where time blocking has helped me. I'll go through periods where I block things out on my calendar, and then those blocks become overwhelming or underused. So I have to learn how to flow with the seasons of life. Okay. This is when blocking on my calendar does help, though, when I am overextending my energy in an unbalanced way. So then I need to say, okay, I need to ensure that I set time in the morning for my ritual, in the AM for my AM ritual. I need to set time in the PM for my PM ritual. So AM so I can focus and actually see what it is I want to do today. What action steps am I going to take, right? PM so I can reflect, let go, release, go to sleep, take a bath, do my feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to do all of those things. But if I'm out of balance, they're not happening. And so when I schedule it on my calendar, it actually makes it easier. And then I'll say, okay, this is the time I'm going to do this. This is when I'm going to do that. And this is when I'm going to take these actions and these tasks. So that's what I feel like you need to do, is to balance out your energy. You are very spiritually aware, but you're not applying what your spirit is telling you and the guidance that you're getting. So you need to make a system so that you can take action. Okay? You either can create one or find one online if that's not your ministry. Okay? So yeah, that's what I'm getting about that. And you need to know what stability looks like for you when it comes to material things. Because one of the reasons why you're probably feeling materially unstable as well is because you might have this limited concept in your mind that being spiritual does not allow you to have abundance, and that's not true. If you're really aligned in your spirituality, that is an abundant nature when you are vibrating in your highest value there. And when you're vibrating in abundance, no matter what chakra frequency you're vibrating in, abundance is a frequency of its own on a whole nother dimension. So let's say that right here, like these chakras is one dimension, right? So your spiritual frequency, it's vibrating good and it goes out into different type of frequencies, okay? Let's say this frequency here from your spirituality is going into an abundance frequency, abundance connected to spirituality, okay? Connected to you. When you're here, this abundance frequency also connects to intuition and abundance, your throat in abundance, your heart in abundance, your confidence in abundance. Their abundance has its own frequency, okay? So when you are in the abundance frequency with whatever other frequency you're tied to, it's also going to attract abundance from all the other areas when you are in there wholly and honestly and authentically and long enough, okay? So it's important to understand your value while you're in your spiritual states. You might be awake, but it may not be valuable what you're doing. You might be consuming spiritual messages, but it might not be valuable to your goals. So you really need to say, are these actions valuable? And if they are, how, once you receive the value, what are you going to do with those seeds before you move on? That's the message I have for you with that. And here's some steps you can take with your journaling. 1, where does my life feel wobbly? This is going to tell you where you're out of balance, okay? And then 2, what would grounding look like for me? This is where you start to align with a more abundant frequency. And then number 3, one practical step I can take is, this is where you take action. Manifesting is more than just thinking, honey. That's a big part of it. The next big part is getting in the energetic state, which is number 2, which is why you have to imagine and see what it is, how to balance out that imbalanced thought, imbalanced frequency, imbalanced feeling. But then you do have to take action. You have to. Okay? It's just part of how it works. So once you list that step, do it. Okay? So until next time, remember, we don't hide from the truth. We handle it sovereignly. Peace, y'all.